Hello again, welcome to the Daily Templar Report, and me, your guest presenter, Jim Dowson. How are yous all, each and every one of yous? Now, where are we here? Who have we got in the room? Right, Ralph Raleigh, Jonathan Bodine, Ewan Eggerstrom, Gary Hardwick, Rady Rotha, Colette Whitney. God bless each and every one of yous. Antonio Rebello, Stuart Bowden, Gary Hardwick, Ralph Raleigh, Jim Young, Michael McGuffin, Philip Milne, how you doing? Still in Florida? Wait, see. He's still in Florida. Naomi Ford, how you doing? Jerry Smith, how you doing from Philly? Nice to see you. Who else have we got in here? Scott Rash, how you doing, Scott? I've got a treat for you today. S. Darling, nice to see you. Malcolm Cook, yep. Christopher Strid, good man yourself, nice to see you. Jacob Lewis, Troy Otto in Florida. See, I know where you are now, don't you need to look? Mark Anthony, I can't remember who it is. Elliot Lamb, Scorpion's in again. How you doing, Scorpion? Paul Telford, how you doing, mate? Hope the weather's as rotten there as it's here. Brian Payton, God bless you, he's in Florida as well. A lot of people in Florida, haven't we? Mark Anthony Smith, Mr. Eggerstrom, nice to see you. Timmy Robinson. Who? Timmy Bobinson. We'll see. I know who he's emulating, but let's hope he's not him. Okay, folks. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us this fine Friday. Excellent. Nice to see you all. I've been a bit hurry dressed today, as my mother would say. Got a state to go on the TV. Hurry dressed creature. There's Jack Liberty. Yep, good stuff. I've been doing a bit of work, so I was a bit muddy, but it's just bucket in the rain here. We're trying to get the building work done. It's bucket in the rain. Do you know it rains over 300 days a year in Northern Ireland? I'm beginning to think the chapter house may be like that big cathedral in Barcelona. It took 90 years to build, but it's a big thing out there. It is a big thing, and we're building the walls this thick. It's ridiculous. Probably no need for it. The builder says there's utterly no need for it, but I said, look, in 300 or 400 years' time, because remember, builders build houses to last 75 years. Did you know that? That's what they get taught. Templars build things to last 1,000 years. So I don't want anybody having a go at you people out there who helped us with this, or me, who's a sort of gangmaster and foreman of the job. I don't want anybody having anything to say in 500 years saying this wall's a bit shoddy. I'm telling you something, these walls will withstand a nuclear blast. They'll certainly withstand high-powered gunfire, and they'll even stand RPG fire. A lot of research went into it with people we know who know about these things. So the walls are that thick, solid concrete. They're there for a reason. We're Templars. We ain't the Salvation Army, and some people don't like us. So we'll make sure our buildings are secure. So it might take longer than normal, but that's the way it is. Don't worry about it. Casual Friday, I don't believe in all that. Peter Smith, Casual Friday. There's a man here I'm looking at now, he's very casual, but he's even got holes in his jeans. I'm worried about sexuality. When I see grown men with holes in their trousers, it's not right, you know. It's not right. And they're skinny jeans as well. Terrible. Anyway, young fellas, what can you do with them, eh? I don't know. Anyway, let me read you a wee bit from Proverbs. Oh, this is a good bit, this. Proverbs, look, I keep telling you, he's doing what I'm telling you. Are you reading Proverbs? Because you'll become much wiser. It's fantastic. Let me read from Proverbs 27, verse 3. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. 3,000 years of human wisdom. Even if you don't believe in divine inspiration, 3,000 years of human wisdom and divinely inspired. Where are you going to get it? You can't beat it. It's a fact. So we know God will add his blessing to this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired and inerrant word. And as they say in America, I've seen these preachers do it. Can I have an amen? Have you seen that, brother? They do that. But don't worry, I won't be saying, hold your credit card to the screen and you'll be healed. Oh, these people need horsewhipped in the town square. I've seen this one day, this guy, he pulls out his hanky and he says, this is a holy hanky and I hold it to the screen. If you touch the screen, you'll be cured. How is this allowed? And then he's asking for their credit card details. How are these people getting away with this? I don't get it. I don't know. Inspirational. Aye, good. Who's doing that? Colette's doing her own personal Bible studies. Very good, Colette. Very good indeed. Can't go wrong with that. Very good indeed. Excellent. It's good to study the Bible. My son's actually studying stuff now. He's actually studying Eastern people's orthodoxy. It's very interesting because although the Eastern Church, the Orthodox Church, is really, to me, it looks very Catholic to me. It's all gold and gilt and pictures and images everywhere, and they're swinging things about with smoke in it, and they're all blessing and genuflexing like wild people. So to me, on the surface, it's the opposite you could ever get from Calvinism. But in actual fact, I've been to a lot of services and I understand a lot more. It's very similar. It's very personal. It's very inward looking. It's very inflective or reflective. I don't know how you say it, but it's very, very personal. Very personal. And it's really down to you and God. And you're just left to wonder about the church. Nobody really, there's no liturgy. Well, there's masses of liturgy, but it's not like the Latin church where you're very involved in this and doing certain things. You're really left to yourself to delve deep inside your soul. So on that level, it's very similar to hardline Calvinism. And my son's been studying it. He's only 14, and he's studying it. And he said this is very similar to us, and it is very similar. So I'm quite attracted to Eastern Orthodoxy. I do like the icons. Not don't tell anybody around here, but I do like it. In my house, I have got several holy icons above my big open. I've got a big wood fire, a real fire, not one of these stoves, and I have a little picture, a very old-fashioned house with beams I live in. It's an old cottage, old Irish cottage, and I have all the holy pictures on the thing, which you'll never see in any other Presbyterian's house. But my house is festooned with them. I have to be careful because the wife doesn't like them. She's old school, and she's always trying to confiscate them. But I've managed to sneak a few past her so far, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, listen, Orthodoxy, Latin Church, there's the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church, Presbyterians, listen, everybody, some people say about Muslims and Hindus, oh, we're all spokes in a wheel and we're all going towards God. That's a load of tripe. That's a load of nonsense because these people get different gods, okay? But Roman Catholics, Presbyterians, Orthodox, Coptic, we are genuinely all spokes in the same wheel, going towards the same God, but from different angles and whatnot. And if you want to stand on your theological high horse and say, they're not right, I'm right, they're not right, I'm right, you're really missing the point. None of us are 100% right. We're all get bits of the truth. We're fallen human beings. Can any of us ever have 100% of the truth? No. All you need to know is this. That's what we say. Then if you can agree with the Nicene Creed, Father, Son and Holy Ghost, Christ born of a virgin, died and was raised again from the dead. That's it. That's the fundamentals. If you don't get them right, well, you're no good. But they're the fundamentals. Everything else, we'll find out the other side of eternity. Who was right and who was wrong. And, yep. Who's this? Mister, let me tell you, I was just about to say, I'm no halfway to Rome. Let me tell you, I might be halfway to Constantinople, but no halfway to Rome. And when we all die, the Catholics will realise that we were right all along. But maybe the Presbyterians might be in for a shock, because there might be a big bearded Orthodox guy sitting there, who knows? But the important thing is we don't fall out over it. We've got bigger fish to fry. We have the Mohammedans, we have all these other cults and everything, and demon worshippers and devil worshippers. And do you know what? We should have showed you a film today. The woman, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she's actually on telly laughing like one of these demented, crazy people. And she's telling the population, we are going to put you in camps. If you test positive or you won't have a test, we will put you in camps. And she's laughing like a demented hyena. You need to see this. Can we do that for Monday, brother? We will get that film for Monday. I'm going to take a note of it because I think it's so important. Because I've met demon-possessed people before. Canadian, wait a minute, what day is Monday? New Zealand. New Zealand Prime Minister. I'm going to write this down because I think it's so important to show you. Camps. It's really scary, and I've came across demon possession, not much, but with abortion workers, and they've actually told me they worship Satan. I believed them. But this woman, I want you to watch it. My opinion is she's demon possessed. She's laughing with the most vicious, manic expression on her face, telling her population, you're going into camps. Now, I want you to think for a minute. Politicians are scum. We know that. They do nothing that might affect their ratings or their potential to be re-elected and do nothing and get more money. We all know that, right? Except for Mr. Griffin, who's in the rooms. Apart from you, sir, because you're a patriot. But these people now aren't even caring. They're not caring about public opinion. So what does that tell you? If a politician's not caring what they say, that means they're not caring about what will happen to their voting record or their ratings in the polls. What does that tell you? It means there might not be any voting in the very, very near future because they're not caring about it. This is actually very scary because politicians would sell their granny to the cannibals if it meant they'll get another 2 points on their election results. They're not caring now. That's when you should be worried. And she's telling people, I will put you in camps. I will put you in camps. And she's laughing about it on TV. That's frightening. Anyway, let me bring you some stories. Before I do that, let me wave something at you. Right? Now, Scott Rash is going to be ever so disappointed because there's no belt with it, Scott. There's no belt with it. There's no belt with it. However, if somebody gets one of these today, I'll make a promise on camera. If somebody gets one of these today before the end of this show, on Monday I will bring the belt in and make a complete fool of myself as usual, trying to put the wretched thing on. Okay, can't see any fair in that. And I know you'll love that, Rash, because you're like that. I know, like you. You've got a few other folk the same. But look, here we go. Here's the Templar Sword. Look at that. By the way, I think the sheath's been improved recently. Wow. Pure leather, as usual, high quality leather, no old junk. High quality leather, look at it. Okay, there's the sword, either side. This is a sword number 488. There we go. It's all covered in grease, you may look, there you go. This is our famous sword, non nobis domine, non sed nomine tuta gloriam. So glory unto God, not unto us. Finest quality high carbon steel, not the same as the Chinese copies, which are made of stainless steel. Rubbish. This is high carbon steel made by master swords makers. It's all hand finished. It's all hand finished there in Toledo. Shipped to us from Spain. All bound up like this. I mean, this is beautiful hand leather on the handle with a wire ribbon. It's absolutely beautiful, and that is a fully functioning battle sword of the Knights Templar. We call it the Lionheart sword. It's beautiful. It's a real piece of kit. And not only that, we have dropped $100 off it because we know times are hard. We know people are struggling. We know there's been big commitments from people, but we've dropped $100 off it to make it a bit easier for you, and it's still available in payments. So you get $100 off, and you can pay it up. Can't do any better than that. And on Monday, I'll bring the belt in if somebody takes us up in the offer. So it's, yeah, in a way, I hope nobody does. Your Teutonic Knights, yeah, they do. I can look into that for you, yeah, yeah. I can try and look into that for you, yeah, absolutely. There you go. Yep, the belt. Oh, I've had the belt many a time, but that's a beautiful weapon, isn't it? Look at it. There's something about a sword that even a gun doesn't give you that feeling. A sword is really raw power of men. I like it. I love swords. It's great. It's fantastic. Let me put it down. You're going to end up chopping myself. Chop my lump off myself. Right, stay there. That might not stay there. We'll see. Okay, I want to bring you a story here from America. Burlington School District raises Black Lives Matter flags at all schools. Can you believe this? Burlington. That's a posh. That was a big famous place, Burlington. Dear me. Where is Burlington in America? What state's it in? Eh? We don't know. Somebody will tell us here because a lot of Yanks in. Yeah, we need to get that organised. Where's Burlington? It must be up in north, is it? Don't know. Who knows where Burlington is, folks? Somebody will tell us in a wee minute. Keep a wee note for it. We'll find it. Okay, so Black Lives Matter flags are being raised in Burlington public schools as commitment to stand for equality and to reject racism and discrimination. You're flying the wrong flag then, because there's nobody more racist and discriminatory than them. All of the students have one message in common, that Black Lives Matter. At C.P. Smith Elementary School, students shared anti-racist commitments they wrote. What is this? What? Burlington's North Carolina? North Carolina used to be a good place. Somebody says Vermont. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe there's two. Illinois. Somebody else says Illinois. Listen, lads. I know. Indiana. Listen. I've got 5 locations here. Look, I know America's big, but it's not that big. Burlington, I think Burlington could be North Carolina. It could be Vermont. I'd go for Vermont or North Carolina. Aye, Vermont. There you go, Brian. Thank you, Brian. It's Vermont. Well, that explains it all, doesn't it? Because all them northern states are pinkos. That's what they're, pinkos. Where's McCarthy when you need them? Bring back McCarthy. We need to root them out again. But I think, sadly, this time they're going to root us out, folks. But there we go. Superintendent of the Burlington schools, Tom Flanagan, said it was, there you go, Irishman, lefty. He said it was important to raise these flags. He said this: we have systematic racism in our nation, and this is a way to publicly show, for me as a white man, to publicly show my support for people of colour and to show that I stand with them, Mr. Flanagan said. Up the revolution, brother! As he drives home in his £100,000 4x4 to his £1 million house, which is all paid for by the horrible, racist white people's tax dollars. Yes, well done, Mr. Flanagan. You're a man of deep moral fibre and fortitude, I'm sure. The schools are putting an emphasis on learning anti-racism at a young age. We need to start educating them Black Lives Matter folk to be anti-racist. That would be a good start. In other Black Lives Matter news, Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, Sniffy Joe. I shouldn't say anything about sniffing because I'm always sniffing at things. But he sniffs people, normally small girls. Joe Biden's plan for strengthening America's commitment to justice reads like a Black Lives Matter wish list. The Biden administration is promising to create a federal task force to combat alleged discrimination in arrest and charging decisions. The Biden plan would strip police officers and prosecutors of their discretion regarding whom to arrest and whom and how to charge. So basically, if you're of a certain ethnicity, you've got, the old game Monopoly, you've got a get out of jail free card. You do what you want, nobody's going to touch you, because to arrest you would be racism. Vermont. Aye, that is Vermont, thanks. I knew that fellow was right. He said it with conviction. So, if you're of a certain ethnicity, you can basically do what you want, and nobody will arrest you, because if you do, the Biden administration will take your badge and throw you in jail. How wonderful. Aren't we all looking forward to that coming to America soon? Oh, God save America. No, I mean God bless America. We need to change that now, folks. God save America. Here's another story coming out of Manchester, England. Traumatised student speaks out after racial profiling incident at University of Manchester. Oh. A video posted online shows security guards pinning Mr. Zach Adan against the wall, asking him for ID as he accuses them of racial profiling. Protesters in support of the students are demanding that Vice-Chancellor Professor Dame Nancy Rothwell resigns. She's a dame, but she's not in this order. The student said he had been restless and didn't go to bed all night, feeling completely and utterly unsafe on this campus. Oh. Mr. Adan, who is of Somalian heritage, let me just analyse that. So the corridors of an educational facility in Manchester, England, make him feel more nervous. Well, there he is. Look up in the poor soul. Pick him up. Lovely looking chap, isn't he? Take him back to your mother. He's more nervous in the education establishment in England than he is in Somalia. He claimed the guard said he looked like he didn't belong on the grounds of Manchester University and there had been reports of drug dealing. The 3 security guards in the video have been suspended. Teaching staff held a show of solidarity with Mr. Adan and their students of colour. Lecturers voiced their support for students protesting the university's handling of the coronavirus crisis. The lecturer statement said, "Let us say it once more, loud and clear. The staff of the University of Manchester stand in solidarity with you. Up the revolution!" And they told black students and students of colour who may be feeling particularly hurt and excluded from the university at the moment that you do belong here. Oh, it's crazy. These are the same people. This is the same university that you cannot join if you're a member of Nick Griffin's old party, the BNP. This is the same university who force anybody with right-wing or conservative or Christian views out. This is the same university who constantly attack anybody who would be pro-life, who would be anti-abortion, or who would have traditional views on marriage. There's no respect for them. There's no equality for them. There's no protection for them. That's what we're up against, folk. But don't we all know it? Hold on, there's somebody there saying, where can I go up there one? Somebody's saying, where can I buy a Templar Bible? Yeah. Now, S. Darling, what kind of Templar Bible do you want? Do you want one of these? Hold on. You want one of these giant ones? One of these big ones? Or do you want one of the normal sized ones? The difference in price, one is a couple $100, that's $800. Big difference in price, but they're all, you pay them all up, but it's up to you. Whatever you want, we'll sort you out. So let us know. Who was that? Mr. Darling, or Mrs. Darling, I don't know, it's S. Darling. But there's small apocryphal ones as well. What are they, about 120, 130 bucks? Something like that. They are beautiful. They're all done in the finest leather, calf leather, but no, the big ones there are done in goat leather. Goat leather. Oh, Lady Rotha, I'm a Scotsman. It would be remiss of me if I missed a thing when folk are talking about buying stuff. Oh, yes. But I want to read you a wee bit of this book because I got a lot of good feedback the other day. A lot of good feedback from the book. Now, there was a wee lad from an online party kind of thing. It's not really a party, it's not registered, but it's an online thing called Patriotic Alternative, PA, run by a gentleman called Mark Collett, who's came a long way, to be fair to the fella. Came a long way, long way. And he's tightening up his ship a wee bit and getting rid of a load of weirdos and freaks. But one of his wee fellas was out leafleting. Good leaflet, nothing wrong with it. Got arrested, house raided. Unbelievable. 16 he was. The police raided his house. And again, in this sort of cyber world we live, nobody really is equipped to deal with the harsh realities of life. It's okay ranting and raving online, but when you go out in the real world, there's real boys out there who will punch you in the face. There's the police who will snap a baton over your head. There's BLM who will maybe shoot you or something. There's Antifa who will maybe stab you. Real world out there. But we come from the real world. We don't come from the cyber world. We are uncomfortable in this cyber world, to be honest with you. But in our book, Whose Fault? Reconquista off the West, Surviving the Great Replacement, there is a massive chapter in it entitled Arrested. And it's a step-by-step account and explanation of what you do when you're first arrested, when you get through the processing system. And I know we've got some correction officers who are members, but they'll tell us to say, you know, what happens when you get put in a cell, what happens when you're interrogated, all this stuff. The young fellas at 16 and don't know, never heard it before. You need to know, because if you don't know, you could end up either being released or spending 10 years behind bars. So it's really important that you buy this and read this chapter cover to cover. If there's any young fellas out there who don't have the money or are a bit skint because they're only young, 15, 16, 17, they don't have the money for that book, contact us, send us, go through the ticket system, tell us, and we'll see if we can come to some kind of arrangement with you, because we need this, we want this book in your hand. It's as simple as that. So let me just read a wee bit for you. Where did I start here? Wait a minute, where have I marked this from? Oh dear me, I don't know what I've done now. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm getting old and doddery. Just hold on. Ah, right, okay, so that was the start there. I can't have it this far. Ah, here we are, sorry, here we are. So I'm on page 295 in the chapter Arrested, okay? If anyone is put in this is when you've been arrested and you've been flung in the police cell, okay? If anyone is put in the cell with you, do not, under any circumstances, trust them. Even if you know them, don't talk about your case with them. Stick to football or the TV or nonsense. The police routinely use informers placed in the cell to get the other detainees talking. Use your time to come to terms with the fact that the coming hours or even the next few days will not be easy for you. You're going to be questioned by well-trained experts, and by the way, you might be beat up as well. They will use all sorts of tricks and pressures to get you to talk or confess, even if you are innocent, because they don't care. If you take part in sports, take this opportunity to train in some way or practice. This can be done physically or mentally. Occupying your mind and body will help stop you worrying and fretting about your current situation. The mind is the problem in jail, nothing else. The mind is the problem, folks. The police are experts at applying so much pressure that it's quite common for innocent suspects to confess to crimes they have not even committed or even know about. Decide right now that you will never buckle under such pressure. And again, if you're a Christian, it's much easier because you ask the Lord for protection and strength, and He gives you it. They've never broke me in jail, never. They've beat me up, they've had me naked, they've ridiculed me, they've done all sorts of horrible, degrading and nasty things to me in jail, and I've never been broken, never. And not even close to breaking, because what, I'm a tough guy? No, because I threw myself on Jesus, And I said, Jesus, you just need to deal with us. I can't deal with this. I'm not strong enough. And Jesus dealt with it every time. To the stage where I wouldn't even come out of jail. I says, you carried me into this cell and you'll carry me out, or I'll lie here until the day I die. Oh, and they had to carry me out. Aye, they had to carry me out. And outside, 100 people in the Latin Mass Society were all waiting on me. All praying and singing God's praises in Latin. Roman Catholic people, God bless them. Yep. So that's what happens. So, just decide that it'll never break you. The interrogation cannot be escaped, but it can be endured. That is exactly what you are going to do. You're going to endure. You're going to be a man or a woman. If you're involved in a political organisation, you can take a wee bit of personal pleasure in thinking about how your comrades are going to have that wee bit of extra respect for you now that you've been arrested and weathered the storm and come out the other end from the police interrogation. A wee bit of kudos. Don't worry about it. Here's a wee summary. You, never forget this, you are right. They are the ones in the wrong. And remember, accepting food or drink does not mean you owe them anything. They are compelled by law to provide you with food, drink and time to sleep at night. Stay calm, stay focused and stay positive. You cannot escape, but you can, my friend, and will endure. Now, where am I here? Just one more bit. Questioning the interview room. There's a very detailed account of what happens when you go through the legal process. So we're now in the interview room. You will be taken to an interview room. Everything here is videoed, so it's very unlikely you will be physically assaulted. No, they normally do that in the corridor while they're taking you there, beat you up with phone books and things. This time you spend in the cell is also recorded, so it is while you're being taken between the two that, if they're really desperate, you will get roughed up a bit or threatened or made some kind of off-the-record approach. If anything like that does happen, try to stretch out the time spent between the cell and the interview room. The time log will later provide strong evidence to back up your claim that something untoward's happened to you at that stage. You understand? Try and stretch it out, then you can say, there's 8 minutes missing here, what's going on? Looks bad for them. More likely, you will be simply escorted to the interview room and sat down near 2 police officers. This may be one on either side of the desk or a more informal setting with nothing between you and them. And it goes on and on and on. We'll keep going through that. I'm going to mark that and we'll keep going through that next week. But it is unnerving if you're not used to it. Nowadays, I don't really bother me. I'm arrested quite regularly. Doesn't bother me that much. Last time I was in, somebody was on a hunger strike, so I ate all their food. I said, don't be throwing that out. Give it to me, sir. And I ate the boys' food. So it was wonderful. I came out a couple of pounds heavier. And when I went to court, the magistrate released me. No problem at all. Out. But I was in a horrible concrete cell for a number of days with nothing. Not even a chair or nothing, just a concrete floor with a blanket. But you know, I remember the days of my youth, the Psalms. Yes, the Psalms, the Proverbs, some of my favourite hymns as well. And I just spent my time initially, because you're a wee bit embarrassed, aren't you, really? You're sort of saying them into yourself. But then I thought, you know, that's a great witnessing opportunity. What a mission field, because everybody's trapped. Nobody can escape. Nobody can say, oh, Dowson's on a rant again about Jesus, so we're going to go somewhere else. Where are you going to go? They're in a cell block. You're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. So what a mighty place for a minister to be. It's fantastic. And I remember I got that message from an old Catholic priest called Father James Morrow. He's dead now. May God bless that man. And he used to love going to jail. He used to get arrested with me outside the abortion clinics, and he never would get him any. He'd just say, I'm telling you nothing, take me to jail, because he wanted to get in and witness to the prisoners. Great old man. Oh, saint of God. Absolutely. So when I'm in there now, I start singing. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, they don't like it. They're bouncing off the walls, some fellas. But they can't go anywhere. So I spend all my time in there singing and preaching the gospel out through the bars. And you know, I can tell you this, some prison officers come up to me who are believers and said, God bless you, brother. Then you need. And I'd say, well, I heard a guy up there's on hunger strike. And I know somebody's brought him in some Indian food, and I'm very partial. Mr. Dowson's very partial to Indian food. I wonder if I could have his biryani. He said, well, you're not supposed to do this. We're supposed to dispose of it, but we'll see what we can do. And 20 minutes later, the hatch opened, and a beautiful chicken biryani was delivered to me in my cell. So, witness for God. There's always something positive you can do when in jail. But if you're sitting there like some ninny, oh, woe is me. Oh, am I going to go to jail? Oh, what's going to happen? Am I going to lose my job? What's my parents going to say? What's my wife going to say? Oh, woe is me. You're finished. You're finished. Listen, All of Jesus' disciples were locked up, beaten, stoned, thrown in jail, chained. Why shouldn't it happen to you? Get a grip of yourself, man. It's a great opportunity to strengthen your mind, body and soul, and to witness the gospel to other people. Because you know what's happening in the jails in America and Britain? The Muslims have got a massive proselytization program running, and everybody's converting to Islam. Why is the Christians not trying to get everybody to convert to Christianity? Because Christianity is viewed as soft and mamby-pamby. Well, they ain't many Templars, and they ain't been to Ireland, because Christianity here is far from soft and mamby-pamby. We need muscular Christianity in the jails for guys to convert to the one true living God, the God who has a flaming sword in his hand, who will come the next time not to bring peace, but to bring division, to bring justice, to bring judgment, and to bring death to those who are not followers of the Lamb. That's it. That's the type of Christianity. That's what Christianity is. But we need it preached in jail, because that's the only thing that will cure these habitual criminals. God. And it's been done many, many, many times. It's a common thing. So, don't be frightened of jail. Don't be frightened of it. But whatever you do, and whatever you say nothing. Say nothing. And if you're one of these people who can't stop gabbing, I'm a wee bit like that. Occasionally, I've broke my silence to preach the gospel or sing a psalm in the interview room. Boy, you never seen policemen shifting quicker than that. They don't like it. They really don't like it at all. So don't worry. But this book is the book you need, because these times are coming, and we've now got the Prime Minister of New Zealand, which we're going to show you on Monday, laughing into the camera. And this wasn't a stolen moment. This was a broadcast to the nation. She's cackling with her big teeth and her mad eyes, saying, I'm going to put you in camps. If you don't take the test or the vaccine, whatever it is, I'm going to put you in camps. Ha 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 ha. I tell you, not a lot of things scare me. She scared me. She's mad. Mad as a brush. Or evil. Mad or bad. I would hope she's mad, but I think she's bad. But that's what we're talking about now. This book came out just in time, just in the right time. So any of you young fellas watching this who don't work, maybe at school, still at school or at college or something like that, and you don't have much money, contact us. Come through the contact, top of the website, contact us, the life ticket system. Send us a message now, so we don't get reds and send us your full real name and a phone number, and we will get back to you, and we will try and help you get this book, okay? Because we want to help young fellas, for real. We want to help you. It's very important. So there you go. I don't know if the gentleman Sam or whoever, no, wasn't it Sam? Who? By the way, Sam, thanks for that info.
Mrs. Darling, Stacey.
Oh, Mrs. Darling, I do beg your pardon, Mrs. Darling. Yeah, but we gave you a link there, no problem. And remember, anybody, Friday Madness. What's this daft thing the Americans have? Black Friday or something? Is that next week?
Oh, yeah.
Load of old nonsense, if you ask me. Don't be fooled by these marketing boys. But anyway, this isn't a Black Friday. This is just a normal Templar Friday. The sword is ready and waiting. There it's there. Look at that. Get yourselves one of these. Even if you just want to take it to bed at night and cuddle it, make yourself feel better, it's well worth it. But the craftsmanship and the quality, it's very seldom we get good quality stuff in there nowadays. All garbage, mass-produced nonsense. Get one of them. You won't look back. It's very nice indeed. So, listen, is that book, Lady Matt, is that book in America too? Yes, we sell it all over the world. There's thousands. Listen, I can't believe it. When I was given somebody came and said, why don't we produce a book? I thought, well, okay, if we sell a couple of hundred, there's not a lot of books go. I think one political guy, an orgy of overspending. Yeah, half the world's starving and people are buying stuff they don't need in this Black Friday nonsense. I quite agree with you. Don't start me on it. But listen, there's two guys I know in Britain, two guys who run political parties. One's sort of, one's virtual and one's sort of real, but not really. They brought books out. One guy sold physical copies, a few hundred books. Another guy sold, I heard, 1,600. We are miles ahead of that. Miles ahead. Thousands of these are going out. I just done a box there now for one man in America, 60 books. One man, one guy. He's a Christian. He runs big Christian radio programs. I won't mention his name, but big in America. So when those books go out, he's sending them to other people who do Christian radio shows. When those 60 books hit the desk of these guys who run big radio shows in America, I don't know how many more we're going to sell. But we're going to have to print more because we're nearly out. We're almost out of these books. I'm not joking. How many boxes are left, brother? 6 boxes left. We had pallets of these things. I think I showed you pictures and we had pallets of these. They're all gone. They're selling like nothing we ever imagined. We never thought for a minute these would sell. No, they're quite expensive, but we've sold them basically no far above cost because, a book bound to this quality is a lot of money, but we thought there's no point in that. We don't want to make money off them. They're important to get in your hands, but at the same time, we didn't want to spend thousands sending them out. So, we're a bit eeky-steekies on it, which is fine, which is good, it's fine. But if it helps people and it helps our future generations, we have absolutely achieved our ultimate objective. Other people sell books for commercial reasons. We sell them for theological reasons, and it's much more important. Much more important. So, well done to everybody. But they're nearly. The first batch is nearly gone, and we're going to have to get some more. So there we go. Well, listen, folks. Let me wish you all. Kenneth Driver. Kenneth Driver, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you there, popping in. Nice, Kenneth. Hope life's treating you well. Peter Smith. Yeah, Peter Smith said quality made. They really are. They were printed actually by a printer who's very famous in Europe. They do all the Catholic churches, fancy imprimatur books and all that. Very old school binding, very high quality silk stitching and all that. You don't get books like that. You can build in the paper. Normally books are made out of that pulp and they all go yellow. You know what I mean? If you get into your library and you see a book or second-hand bookshop, you see the old cheap books, they're all yellow. It's because they're made of pulp, they dissolve, and they've only got a life expectancy of about 80 years. And they literally dissolve and disappear. This, 500 years, this book will look like this. That's the difference. Now, you wouldn't know that, the public wouldn't know that, but we know that because we've been told by the experts. So we want that book to be lasting the test of time. So in 300-400 years, maybe the future human saviour of the West will pick that up. And it might be that long before we ever see that. The Spanish were under pressure for... Dustin, God bless you, brother. How are you? Haven't spoke to you for a while. Dustin McGuire's one of the best men I've ever met in my life. Absolute credit to the United States of America. God bless you, sir. Lovely man. But, these books, we don't know. Spain was under occupation for 800 years. Serbia and Hungary for hundreds of years. It might be that length of time. But maybe in 250 years' time, a young boy in battle-scarred Europe or America, living in a little farm down some kind of leafy hollow, picks up this book from his granddaddy's shelf and reads it. And he goes on to be a Ulysses Grant, a George Washington, a William Wallace, Braveheart, or Owen O'Neill. You don't know who he could be, the man who leads our people to freedom because he read something like this. That's why we made it like the way it is to last hundreds of years. So let's hope we are successful in our endeavour. So there we go. I'm going to wish you all the very best. God bless each and every one of you. Now, Jake Liberty saying, when's the knighting ceremony in North America? You tell me. We can't leave. We're in utter full lockdown again. Complete lockdown. Now, if Mr. Biden gets in power, you'll see what we mean. Well, Jake Liberty's in Canada, mind you. But America will be locked down. It's horrific. George Patton, one of my heroes. Yes, Scott Rash says George S. Patton. Scott Rash, can I tell you this, Brother Rash, just quickly because I have to go. My great uncle drove George S. Patton in his North African campaign. He was Monty's driver, and then he was assigned to General Patton because he knew the terrain, and he drove General Patton about for 2 weeks. And he loved George Patton. He hated Monty. He's my great uncle, but he hated Montgomery, who was an Ulsterman. But he loved George Patton. He said he was as mad as a hatter, but a mighty man and a warrior like nobody's ever seen before. So there we go. But we'll get something done. Who's this? What a shambles! Struggling not to lose the plot. Yeah, what's going on? Well, who knows what's going on? We've been locked down. But remember this: revolutions start not when the masses are annoyed; it's when the middle classes are annoyed. The shopkeepers and the restaurant owners, when they get upset, that's when revolutions happen. And this government is doing everything they can to upset the middle classes. So let it continue. Let them go on. Let them be. But we're going to end up having to rise very shortly because this is getting out of control now. People are losing their livelihoods and losing their homes. It's not going to last much longer. Well, look, that's all from me. I will see you, DV, on Sunday with the Sunday service. I think we're out of James now, so we'll see. I think there might be one James left, but we'll see. But I hope you all invite your friends and family to come in and join us in the Sunday Templar service. It will be good for their soul, and I like to see people there because you're like, family now. We've really got to know each other during this COVID nonsense, but when I don't see somebody that I know is normally there, I wonder about them, I worry about them, where are they, what's happened to them? So I'll see you on Sunday, God willing, but until then, have a lovely, lovely weekend, love your family, love your old ones, love your young ones, and I will see you, God willing, on Sunday. Until then, stick close to God, you won't go far wrong. Do us vault!